So first I'm going to start out by applying my liquid foundation, and usually I start by putting it on the back of my hand, and I only use a little bit at first just because I want to make sure that I don't overuse too much. Then I'm going to take my brush. You could also use a sponge, but I try to use a brush more just because it's easier to clean. Then you're going to apply it all over your face. You want to make sure to get it up in your hairline and all over those crevices on your face. You want to make sure not to miss like underneath your nose or something, because the whole point of putting cover up on is that your whole entire face is covered, so it's one solid color instead of blotchy and red. So I make sure to get my eyelids too, because they tend to be very veiny. So once I've applied it all over my face, I also want to make sure that I get underneath my neck, just to make sure that my neck and my face are both the same color. Next, I'm going to be using a primer, and I just put a little bit all over my lid and I blend it in with my fingertip. You really don't need very much, just because a little bit is going to go a long way. Now I'm just going to put a little bit of powder concealer on, just because I don't want to have to do this later on and maybe mess up my eyeshadow. Now I'm taking my liquid concealer stick and just applying it right underneath my eye and right on top of my eyelid, just because I have veiny eyelids and I have very dark circles underneath my eye. You're going to blend it in with your finger, and because this one is a little bit lighter than my skin color, it's really going to hide those dark circles well. Now I'm taking another foundation, and this one is liquid. It's also a mousse concealer, and I'm just applying that to any blemishes on my skin or any red spots that I have. This one is the same color as my skin, so it's going to blend in very well. Now I'm taking my Maybelline 24-Hour Color Tattoo Cream Eyeshadow in the color Barely Beige from their Fall 2012 collection, and I'm applying it all over my eyelid with my finger. I also apply it right underneath my brows, just as a bit of highlight. So now I'm going to be taking my NYX eyeshadow in the color Flamingo, which is just a light brown, and I'm also going to be taking a fluffy dome brush, and I'm just going to put that right in my crease. And just really, there's really no technique to this, you just kind of swish it around until your crease is colored in. Then of course, you need to do the other eye too. All I'm really doing is making sure that both sides are even and the same color. Now I'm going to take my other NYX eyeshadow in the color Ice Mocha, and this is a darker brown, and I'm taking a smaller dome brush and I'm really just applying that to the inner V and the outer V. I like to bring it in towards the middle of my eye just because I think it creates a little bit more depth, and then I'm going to apply it to the other side of my eye as well. Sometimes one side looks darker than the other, so you need to apply accordingly. Now I'm going to take a small pencil brush and my liquid liner. Actually, it's a gel liner, but you could use liquid if you want. And I just run my brush through the gel and then I apply it straight on. And sometimes I mess up a little bit, but that's okay because I just use a Q-tip to fix it. Now I'm going to line my other eye, and this is a lot harder on this side because I can't use the same technique because my hand doesn't move the same way on the opposite side. So usually this eye turns out a lot worse, but if you have Q-tips, really, you don't care if you mess up because you can just erase it. Now that I've used a Q-tip to remove any mistakes that I made, I also have removed the eyeshadow that I applied before, so I'm just going to use my brush and reapply it just to make sure that it's even on both sides. And now I'm going to take my brow palette and I'm going to be filling in my eyebrows. I like to just use a brush because it's easier than an angled brush and it just fills in a little bit nicer, I think. Now that I've filled in my brows, I'm going to take my brush and just remove the front part of them just so they look a little bit more natural. And then I'm going to take my concealer and just apply that all over my face and underneath my neck, just so that my face has extra coverage. Now I'm taking my matte bronzer and a fluffy brush and applying that to my cheekbones and up into my hairline just so that my face is contoured a bit. Now I'm using a blush and another fluffy brush, but it's a little bit smaller, and I'm just reapplying it right onto my cheekbones and all over my face where I'm just getting the excess off my brush basically. And then I'm going to take my lip palette and I am deciding what color I want to wear today. Finally I decided on this pink color that I really like, and so I just apply that with my finger onto my lips. It's basically like my natural color with a little bit of shimmer. And then once I apply that, I'm going to take a really shimmery white color, which is just a gloss, and I'm going to apply that as well just for a bit more shimmer. And I almost forgot about mascara. So I use 3 types of mascara. The first one is by L'Oreal, and this is not waterproof. So I just use this to define my lashes and unclump them. I also apply this to my bottom lashes just for the first coat. And then I do my other eye. And I got a little bit on my face, but that's okay because it just wipes off. Next, I'm going to be using another mascara by Maybelline, and this one is waterproof, and it just really lengthens and really intensifies the base of my lashes, so I like to use this one too. And third, I'm using my absolute favorite. It's the Falsies mascara by Maybelline, and this one is also waterproof, and this just really locks in and enhances how long and luxurious my lashes look, if I do say so myself. I also use this to coat my bottom lashes, just because the one that I used before is not waterproof, so it just, in case I cry during the day, you know, it's not gonna run. And lastly, I line my tight line, and I do it on my other eye as well. And that's it. That's how I do my makeup for the day. I hope you enjoyed watching, and if you have any questions or comments, you can always leave them below. Thanks! Bye!